Bioclear Earth was established about 30 years ago, and we're an innovation and consultation company focusing on soil, on water, on climate issues. And the special thing is that we focus on techniques that we get from nature.
And what we do is we study microbes in the soil and try to relate them to how our ecosystems are functioning, how we are influencing those ecosystems, and if we can somehow optimize the microbes that are there, the composition, to help us basically to produce, for instance, more food in a more sustainable way, or to clean up pollutants, to make our forests healthy again. So kind of all possibilities to see if microbes can help us basically. And we use molecular biology to study these microbes.
We have about 35 people working on several issues, and these people vary from chemists, I'm a chemist, biochemist, but also microbiologists, ecologists, process engineering people, and so on. So technical, biological backgrounds.
When Bioclear was founded, this was completely new in the Netherlands, so this was not done in practice yet. Using biology to really clean up sites completely. So what we do is we make up the plan on how to do this, we study the sites, and then we actively apply the microbiology to clean up our soils and groundwater. And gradually this has been expanding into, hey, if microbiology can be so powerful in cleaning up our messes basically, shouldn't we also use it when we're producing our food? And shouldn't we also look into their roles in natural areas? And not just use it when we've caused trouble, basically.
We are situated in Groningen, in the northern of the Netherlands, and that's an historical thing because I studied at the University of Groningen and then I started this company in 1988. So we're located in the north, but that doesn't mean we only work in the north. We work in the Netherlands as a whole, the south, the west, every region. In fact, more than 80% of our work comes from, not from the north, but from the rest of the Netherlands. And we now and then also do projects abroad.
The position is unique because you have the university here. Groningen is the youngest city of the Netherlands when you look at the population. And the university has a really strong biology department. So I think this is really good for us because there's many young, talented biologists who are looking for jobs in the northern part of the Netherlands. And the atmosphere here is also really nice. So it's open to innovation. Maybe because we're in the north, we're also sometimes a bit more eager to do new things to kind of prove ourselves maybe. And I think all things combined, this makes the atmosphere here really good for a company like ourselves.
In the beginning, we worked for a lot of Dutch clients, and then the Dutch language was very important. But now we become a little bit more international orientated, in, for instance, in European projects where we cooperate with foreign companies, foreign universities, for instance. And then mostly the language is English. And the second thing is that we need specialists, for instance, in molecular biology, and you have to find them. And then the first thing is you need a person who's very good in his job. And then the second issue is she from the Netherlands or the United States? That doesn't matter that much. And we also noticed, and we're noticing that now, that people can pick up the language rather quickly. In 6 months, up to a year, they start talking Dutch if you give them the opportunity to do so.
Now the field is kind of changing, and it's changing quite rapidly actually. And since we're more moving into soil health, also in agriculture, it doesn't really matter where you're studying it in the Netherlands or in Spain or in Italy or Brazil. The same principles are being applied, and we also see that the projects are becoming more international, so people are actively looking to collaborate more, and I think this sort of translates into the composition of our team since we are also becoming more international. So I think you can kind of see the trend within our company as well.
In the beginning we start talking English, of course, and we want to make them feel at home. But we also stimulate to pick up the Dutch language, and often it's possible to follow a course. We support them in taking a good course in Dutch, but we also try to support them in talking Dutch, even if they're not feeling very secure at the moment. But we just stimulate them, just make false, and then gradually you learn. Because if we start talking English all the time, then it's very difficult, and then you don't feel secure enough to switch to the Dutch language.
You have to be really mindful of this, because it's really easy to just start your day talking in English. And I think especially when we all want to have like more deep diving discussions about the science, we still use English. But when you're mindful, then like your normal day-to-day conversations you can have in Dutch. And something that I personally try to do is, the Dutch language has like a crazy amount of weird expressions and sayings. So I try to teach new people these expressions, so you can get the sense of the typical weirdness of the Dutch language. So this is something I try to do.
Of course, people have to be smart in the profession, thinking smart about their work. They have to be energetic. They need to show some initiative. They're passionate about their work and show energy in their work. And the kind of, what you see is what you get. Their integrity to perform in this field, and loyalty, integrity, combined with this energy and smartness about their work. That's the combination we're looking for.
I think if you like to be like on top of the game of molecular biology, bioinformatics, but you don't want to apply it in a research setting like at the university, but more in the real world, where you're also really challenged to, okay, you're doing scientifically really interesting stuff, but then you also need to explain it to people from completely other fields, and they're going to ask you questions like, how can I use this today? Like, if you like those kind of challenges, to use science into practice like right now as soon as possible, then I think Bioclear Earth is the place for you.
People can always send a letter for an open application, and we seriously look at these open applications. If we have a vacation, we put them in the procedure, and otherwise, if we don't have a vacation, we look at the qualities of the person and what they can bring, and consider if we cannot fit it in. For instance, Rhea, she came along. We didn't have a vacation at the moment, but we thought she was very interesting because of her skills and her knowledge. So we just created the position.
I think it's always good to really highlight why you want to work at some place, like really explain your personal story. I think those letters always resonate the most with me, like if you put something of yourself in the letter.
So I think the big attracting factor is that if you have done certain studies, you have certain expertise, then it would be very fun to work in a company where they practice this expertise in the frontier, where we're pioneers discovering new possibilities that can work in practice. And I think that's what you have to like, and not because we're in the Groningen or because we're, of course we're nice people and so on, but it's the specialism, the focus we have and the niche we act in that triggers you to come here instead of somewhere else.